Greetings from Brno, everyone. So I hope everyone's enjoying the start of fall. Temperatures have finally dropped here in Brno. It is getting cooler. Definitely enjoying this autumn season. This is my first autumn here in Brno. So really loving it, loving the vibe in the air. And of course, all the wines. So today for this episode, I wanted to showcase something that I think will put the Czech Republic and especially South Moravia on the map. So this is going to be an orange wine episode. So here in South Moravia, the wine industry is still fairly young. It's about 20 years old, 30 years old. But they are really leaders of innovation and enterprise and business savvy. And these winemakers are truly remarkable for what they've done in the past 30 years since the fall of communism. So going into this orange wine episode, I wanted to do this in honor of International Orange Wine Day, which was just celebrated a couple days ago, this past Sunday, October 6th. So if you have not tried orange wine, maybe this video will entice you to try one and pick one up at your local wine shop. So orange wine, it is not made from oranges, it is made from grapes. Orange wine is one of the oldest styles of making wine in the world. So it started about 6,000 years ago in Georgia when they were picking grapes. They were putting the grapes, the stalks, the stems, the seeds, all of that stuff into one large concrete vessel, sealing it off, letting that stuff ferment, and eventually after a few months, taking the sediment off, and they would have unfiltered, unclarified wine, or what we know of wine today, fermented grape juice. So this orange wine method is still used in Georgia today to make wine. However, in other parts of the world, it's gaining back in popularity. And there has been an orange wine explosion. Many winemakers are latching onto this because it's a very innovative way of making wine and it produces something that is very unique. So, jumping into this orange wine episode of South Moravia and Moravia, drink better. So I am showing two wines. The first one today is Tanzberg Mikolov, Riesling Rhine Riesling 2017 Orangevée. And interestingly enough, this is actually their first vintage of this Orangevée or Orange Rhine Riesling. The winery has been around for about 20 years. They just celebrated their 20th anniversary. They may have really some of the best vineyard sites in Mikolov. This particular wine comes from the Bavary region of Mikolov on the Slunečnica hills, so the sunny hills of Bavary. They grow primarily Riesling in this area, and this is, again, their first experiment with Rhine Riesling Orangevée. So I'll hold the color up to the glass here, so you can get a pretty decent view of it. What you might notice as I swirl the glass around is some sediment. And that sediment is because this wine is unfiltered. This is sediment that has remained when they took off the grape skins. So by fining a wine, by filtering off those sediment or suspended particles, you are taking away this sediment in the glass. However, with this orange wine, they decided to leave it unfiltered, unfined in the bottle. So, beautiful orange color on this wine. The nose is very reminiscent of Riesling. Of course, this is Rhine Riesling. So you have a slightly floral nose to it, kind of a yellow apple as well. Kind of a honey beeswax character. But what I love about this wine is its tannin. This wine is very dry. There is practically no residual sugar left in this wine. It is fermented to the point of completion, so there's not a hint of sweetness in this wine. As the nose would suggest, the nose has a slightly sweet, honeyed note to it. And what I love about this style of wine is what you smell is not what you get. So you have this honeyed beeswax note on the nose, but on the palate, it is very tannic, very acidic, and quite dry. So you still have that yellow apple to it. This wine would be perfect with spiced Moroccan food or curry or some kind of Korean barbecue. I can only imagine the possibilities of spice combinations that could be possible with this style of wine. So pretty cool. Moving on to Petr Kočařík. So this is a Tramín from Petr Kočařík. This is from Čechovice in the Velké Pavlovice region. This is a 2016. What I love about this wine, there is no back label. This is it. This is all you get. This is a wine that's not exported. He makes between 5,000 to 10,000 bottles a year. He farms 2 hectares of land. Mr. Kočařík is one of the founding members of Authentic Fest, one of the authentic winemakers, meaning that he joined together with a band of winemakers in South Moravia. They decided to produce wines that are using only organic farming practices, no additional chemicals, also using winemaking techniques like extended skin contact, additional lees aging, and other quirky things that are kind of atypical of a traditional winemaker. So going into this Tramín, or as it's known here, Gewurztraminer. Again, beautiful orange color. This wine is unfiltered, unclarified. And you get that Gewurztraminer nose. So you have this combination of jasmine and rose and lychee on the nose. And it's beautiful bouquet, very floral. There is a slight apple note to it as well, not as pronounced as the Riesling. Definitely more of a jasmine tea note to it on the nose. Ooh, this wine is even more tannic than the first. It is quite dry. It has kind of an orange pith, clementine, nectarine note to it on the palate. Exceptional style of winemaking that is actually quite hard to pull off and to pull off well. These wines, orange wines, typically have a bitter sensation to them, kind of like a shaved almond. Sometimes that bitterness can be out of hand. I've tasted some orange wines that taste like burned popcorn, which is no fun. These wines are not burned popcorn. These wines are bright and fruity, but just with that additional tannin, slight bitter component to it on the finish. But this is a style of winemaking, again, that has been traditionally done for thousands of years, but has made some kind of a revival back in the US, in Slovenia and Austria, and here, of course, in the Czech Republic. So, that being said, I am excited to be able to share these Czech wines with you all. These are extremely small production wineries, so unfortunately I do not think they get exported to the US, but that just means you have to buy your plane ticket, come visit me in South Moravia. There are direct flights from New York to Vienna, so you have no excuse, and we will visit these wineries. I think these are exceptional winemakers, really using alternative techniques and creating just delicious, mouth-watering wine. So cheers to orange wine. Cheers to Moravia. Get my shirt up here, South Moravia. Moravia drinks better. Hope everyone can pick up a bottle of orange wine at their local wine shop and share with me your thoughts and feelings about orange wine. So cheers to orange wine. Cheers to Mr. Kočařík and Tanzberg Winery for making beautiful wines. And see you on the orange wine flip side. Cheers!